Welcome to the Cowboy Bros Podcast. I'm your host, Terrence. Is with me and my co-host, Jason, calling in for the Batcave in Indianapolis. Jason, how are you, my good man?
Hey, man, I'm fantastic. You know what night it is, bro? It's Cowboy Bros night, episode 78. As somebody reminded me earlier, we are on the road to 100, and we have 3 interesting topics, folks. And just a heads up, we may have some disagreements on this show. So listen up.
I appreciate the disclaimer. Thank you for the calling out that it is in fact episode 78 for the uninitiated. Cowboy Bros is the podcast to hear. We are a weekly podcast of fans of sports, current events, and entertainment.
And as always, we are your hosts, Terrence and Jason. And every single Thursday, we come to you with a brand new episode where we discuss the current events of the day, sports, and the athletes we love.
And even some of the athletes we loved. No matter the topic, you can expect a brutally honest and fun exchange of snark while learning through the lens of our 30 years of friendship that originated in Calumet Park, Illinois.
And folks, for more Cowboy Bros content, make sure you connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok under the handle Cow Park Bros or Cow Park Bros Podcast for more behind the scenes of the show and just engage with us every single day. But do not forget that the Cow Park Bros Podcast is available to listen and subscribe for free wherever you listen to podcasts.
I like that diction. Like us, love us, share us, follow us. And folks, if you like us, hell, why wouldn't you?
I'm glad you clearly enunciated that very well. Thank you. But like Terrence always says, we are the podcast to hear and watch. So make sure you're living it, loving it, and doing it.
Clearly, we're having a good time tonight. Let's kick off the segment, dog. Some football is in order. NFL season is in full effect. And first order of business, Bobby Wagner.
What did he do?
Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner is got a police report filed on him. There's a lot of ratchetness on the field antics this week. Bobby Wagner actually tackled a protester on the field. Jason,
that he did.
Now I saw this on highlights after the fact. I wasn't watching the game live or anything, but I thought it was interesting that the protester, and I hate protesters that basically they know that they manage to get a lot of open field between them and like security in an event like this, in like a big stadium, right? And so they know it's going to be a little bit harder for somebody to catch them anyway, Jason. But Bobby Wagner managed to make this open field tackle on this guy. And it was a pretty solid tackle, even though Bobby Wagner is at the tail end of his career, right? And
Correct.
So Bobby Wagner lays this guy out. And then security, they take care of the rest. And then the irony is that the security guy, not the security guy, the protester ends up pressing charges or filing a police report, rather.
You have an issue with that?
And I was just going to say, man, listen, if anything, if he was going to file a police report, he should have hit him harder. I don't think the cops are going to charge Bobby Wagner with anything, right? If anything, he was fulfilling a public service obligation. He was doing a public good.
So you're saying you're doing the public good. Why?
Because this protester was interrupting a football game. He was interrupting commerce. He was interrupting Sunday service.
I can't tell if you're being serious or joking.
I mean, it's definitely a little bit of column A and column B. I don't support this fuckery, man. I don't support protesters interrupting games like this.
So you said that a few times, specifying protesters. So if he wasn't protesting and he was just some idiot running on the field, would you have the same opinion?
I'm sorry. Run this by me again. So
Sure. You said multiple times that you have an issue with protesters doing this. So would you have an issue, or rather, would you still feel the same way if the person wasn't protesting and they were just some random idiot running the field like people do at sporting events?
I
Because again,
mean,
you seem to harbor those feelings towards protesters, which is what it is, which we'll
he's
get
still
into.
he's still disrupting the event. That's the
Okay.
reality. There is a clear policy on every ticket, on and um every arena has a pretty clear cut policy about not doing this shit. So you have no idea whether this person could be potentially a danger to either themselves, to others. Things could quickly go left from here. So yeah, I'm pretty much not in the mood for that shit. I I'm not willing to suffer fools on this one. I'm sorry. You know, people can talk about the freedom of speech all they want. Hey, you want to act a fool? Great. Take your ass outside the stadium.
Thank you for answering that question. I wasn't sure where you're going to go with that, so thank you for explaining that. Um, so as we first started off, the protester did file charges. Excuse me, like you said, file a police report against Wagner. Um, and I definitely understand and agree to your point, and actually a point Bobby Wagner, said that he doesn't know that he said he was protecting the safety of the people, which basically I didn't see him say this on video, so I couldn't tell if he was kind of joking when he said that. But whether he was or wasn't, to his point, I agree because you don't know what somebody's going to do. It wasn't like he had a sign saying, "Hey, I'm only doing this" or whatever. Blah blah blah. He just a guy running the field with like a smoke device, whatnot. So in that regard, I definitely get it that Bobby Wagner was doing something he thought was right to keep the safety. Okay. I also agree with your point when it comes to yes, people have the right to protest, including in some regard running on the field. However, as we always say, yes, you have a right to do something, but you also have a right to the consequences of those actions.
Yeah, you don't
And
have a right. Yeah, you listen. You have a right to fuck around. You also have a right to finding out what's happening afterwards.
okay, I agree. So, and typically, yeah, security in normal situations, security, yeah, that's catch the person, and the person gets arrested, taken to the ground, what have you. Correct. Now, I guess the question could be: is did or in any case, if it was security or a player, did they go overboard when it comes to taking them down? Now, I saw the reports from multiple websites that said that the individual suffered only minor injuries at the time, a burn for probably for whatever he was carrying, and he woke up with a headache or whatever. Now later on, according to a report from yesterday, again, this is something that happened in a game, last week, you know, so it was Rams versus Niners or what have you. But anyway, so apparently, according to the police report that was filed, the individual, because he went in the next day, apparently the individual had a concussion. So now I know you were mentioning that Bobby Wagner has no charges filed as of the moment. I would think there wouldn't be, but now I didn't see this report until today. Now I don't know when they became aware of it or whatnot, but I would kind of wonder, okay, well, since he got a concussion, could that be grounds to say, hey, maybe you went a little overboard and here's these charges? Or going back to point A, what you said, well, you should have been on the field in the first place when it comes to how that comes into play with the police. Who knows? Now, I'm sure the charges will file because the individual protester, whose name I can mention if later on if we need to, he probably filed the charge because he felt he was over, I don't want to say abused, but basically they felt like he was being a little abuse of power, I guess you could say, whatever, because obviously Bobby Wagner has some power. Even though this isn't Seattle Bobby Wagner, this is LA Bobby Wagner, he still has some power to him. Um, so yeah, that's why again, I don't know the guy. I know the organization he works for or protests for or whatever, but I don't know who this guy. But I'm assuming the charges were filed because of that reason, because he felt that Bobby Wagner was a little overboard. So now I'm guessing you're probably going to disagree with the overboard part based off point B I was making, that he should have been on the field in the first place. I'm guessing, is that correct?
He was in their habitat. The end. He's lucky he has his damn teeth.
I mean, yeah, I do agree. Wagner probably could have hit him a lot worse because, it wasn't just a full-on spear tackle to the ground.
I mean, listen. He's lucky that multiple professional athletes did not destroy him. We're talking about just one guy. I mean, there was a second trailing player that was involved, but the real star of the show is who finished him off, right? And fans have been out of control for a long time. I offer no quarter to them. Fans like this, and listen, I offer no quarter to them. I'm pretty consistent on this, by the way. You're ruining the experience for all of us. You're ruining let me finish, please. You're ruining the experience for us at the game. You're ruining the experience for us at home. Hell, you're ruining the experience. Well, you might not be ruining the experience for us on these parlays, because hell, there could be a new opportunity for some recklessness on these sports books, man. There could be a new opportunity for some unknown potential for chaos.
Ruining the experience. Is that what you want to go with?
Yeah. I listen.
Okay.
Jason, it's okay for me to say I don't like it. Okay, it's okay for me to say.
I'm not saying you can't, but ruining the experience for all of us, or no, ruining the experience. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is exclusive to baseball games, but I've seen plenty of footage of live sporting events where somebody runs on the field and the fans start cheering every time he makes a dodge to cut up, a security guard. So I would say just the opposite. The fans aren't ruined by that. They actually enjoy it. Now, partially, yeah, they probably enjoyed him getting hit by Bobby Wagner too. But to say somebody running on the field ruins the experience, I'm going to definitely disagree with you, because it seemed like the fans, at least the ones in the stadium, actually enjoy it. Have you not seen any of this, or kind of know what I'm talking about when it comes to fans actually cheering somebody run on the field?
Right. Yeah. They enjoyed the result. They did not enjoy him doing it. Those are two different things.
Okay. What makes you say they don't enjoy him doing it? What makes you say that?
Because Jason, because
yeah.
All right, there's a reason a million people aren't allowed to just run on NFL stadiums fields. Okay, there's a reason for that. There's a reason. This isn't the NCAA's where there's pandemonium where they storm the field. Okay, this isn't chaos. That isn't acceptable behavior. All right. So what I'm telling you is, yeah, if somebody is dumb enough to do that, yes. The general consensus is yes. The public does want to see that guy get feared, because we do want to see justice. We want to see stupidity meet that end. You are correct.
Okay, again, yeah, they like that part of it, but I'd say the same thing. They still like him running on the field, him or her running on the field too. Now, obviously, they're not hoping for that to happen, but if it does, hey, okay, great, look at that guy, hi, hey, look at him, dodge security, yeah. And again, obviously, they're gonna like the tackle and takedown too, but also, but to that point, I've seen stadiums where they actually boo when the guy gets tackled and taken to the ground, right? Because they're rooting for that guy. Yeah, they know he's gonna get caught, but they're booing when it happens. It's like pro wrestling. Yeah, people might be cheering for the baby face in the match, but whenever the heel wins, what are they gonna do? They're gonna boo. Same thing. And you're talking about people being allowed on the field. I don't think that really plays a part in whether or not people like. Hell, to that point, that's probably why people actually do like it, because that guy doing something that's not allowed. Like I know, like I said, I know you and I, based on this conversation, aren't going to be running on the field anytime soon. But am I going to feel like my experience is ruined if somebody does? No. Whether it be because they're actually on the field running around or if I'm waiting for them to get tackled and smashed. Either way is what it is. I know it ain't going to be me. I'd love to see you do it, but I know you're not going to because you're a responsible adult, and I get that. But I think it's a far stretch to say it's ruining the experience of anybody watching the game, as far as a fan in the stadium or on TV. Now, sure, it's ruining the experience, I guess, for the people who have to work in the stadium, i.e. security, i.e. the players and whoever else. Because I'm sure they rather than I had to deal with that. But ruin it for the fans, I have to disagree with you. As a matter of fact, folks, I'm sure leave a comment when we post a video or whatever about this because I'm curious to see. Now, I'll say that's my opinion. Terrence said his. I'll, post your comments about it. Let us know. Call in. Let us know. Whatever. I'm very curious to see what people have to say on that. If you feel like your experience as a fan, either on TV or in the stadium, is ruined because somebody ran on the field. I can tell Terrence is looking up something and they're trying to, refute anything I just said.
I mean, I'm not going to refute your opinion. I'm not going to refute your opinion. I'm good on it.
Terrence is a known refuter. Terrence is a known refuter of everything I say. So it just should be different to the show. So yeah.
I don't refute absurdities. I simply move on to the next segment.
Speaking of which, transition.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. With that said, that concludes segment 1. We're going to move on to something a little more different. We're going to talk about polyamory. Coming up next on Cowpart Bros.